Hi everyone, we're back and we're doing okay, but you never can tell with this game. We've got Deadline down from his max HP of 80 to 60. So the characters are proceeding okay, and frankly they've got some decent hit points here okay. Problem is, with this negative energy field in play, it could be a problem for us. But we'll see. Let's see how it goes. We're back to play the villain, and let's see if there's any start of turn effects. So this has an end of villain turn. This has an end of villain turn. So instead of doing anything there, we simply play a card. It's a catastrophe, which says at the start of the villain turn, each player shuffles their trash into their deck, and Deadline regains 1 HP, H minus 2 HP. Okay, it's the end of the turn, and at the end of the turn, there are not 3 or more catastrophe cards in place, so Deadline flips the top card. It's another catastrophe called the magnetic pole shift, but it's not going to happen until we come around full circle. Oh, and there we go. That's 2 cards played, isn't it? So let's keep an eye on our negative energy field. Remember, it says whenever a card is played, deal the 3 targets with the highest HP 1 infernal damage each. Okay, so that means Deadline himself gets 1. The next highest HP belongs to Ra. I got this wrong, don't I? 2 cards were played. 2 cards were played. So Deadline's at 58. Ra is at 23. And Wraith is going to get 2 damage, but she's buffering that by 4 because of her stealth. So she's fine. She's fine. That was the next damage dealt to her, so she takes no damage. So that was, let me see, where were we? The villain, end of turn, played that, and that set off the negative energy field, which means now we move into the Ataxia sphere. At the end of the villain turn, this card deals the hero target with the lowest HP 2 infernal damage. Okay, so he's down to 21. If that target is a hero character card, yes, that hero's player must either discard 1 card or shuffle their trash into their deck. Well, again, I see nothing wrong with this Fire Blast. I would love to have it again, so let's shuffle the trash back in. No cards were played, so the negative energy field doesn't do anything. And we move on to the hero turn. So let's have a look. Well, why don't I play with the Blazing Tornado? This is an ongoing card. It's limited, so there can only be 1. But if I use the power, I get to deal 3 damage. So I'm going to play that. Negative energy field is going to attack. So everyone loses an HP. So that's 57, 20, and so she's at 23. Alright. You know, sometimes this game is about bookkeeping. Well, who's kidding who? This game's always about bookkeeping. This variant really minimizes the bookkeeping, but it still does depend upon the environment and the villain and, of course, the heroes, how many cards you have in play, and so on and so forth. My little system here just tends to mitigate it a little bit, but Sentinels of the Multiverse is still going to require a little bit of it's still going to result in some brain burn for you, okay? So you just have to deal with it, but the game is worth it. Okay, so I played this card. I get to use a power. And I think I'll use this power, which says that the Blazing Tornado, so Ra can deal 1 target 3 fire damage. With the Staff of Ra, that amounts to 4 fire damage. And I'm going to hit Deadline once again. So we draw a card, and Ra's turn is over. Over to the Wraith. Wraith can use an additional power during her power phase, which is great. But the first thing that she does is play a card. I think we'll simply have her regain 3 hit points. Okay, so Wraith is going to regain 3 hit points. We're going to play out the the Suture Self. It's kind of good art, actually. See, she's doing what she needs to there, right? Okay, so she's going to regain 3 hit points, which is going to put her at the max of 26. Because of the negative energy field, the 3H cards, if you will, the 3H targets with the highest HP get 1 infernal damage. So the highest HP belongs to Deadline, who's now down to 52. Herself, which is down to 25, so she hurt herself, but she netted 2 points. That didn't do favors for Ra, though, who's now down to 19. Now she can use an additional, she hasn't used a power, she played a card, so now she can use a power. So she is going to deal 1 target, 3 projectile damage. So I think she will choose to hit Deadline for that. Brings Deadline to 49. And she gets to use an additional power, and she's going to go back to her stealth. Okay, so she is done, so she draws a card. Somehow I need to increase her projectile damage because that's really going to help her build things up. So we go back to the sidekick deck. We draw Mr. Fixer, but again we flip to his depleted side. It says we can select an equipment card in a hero trash and put it into play. Well, that's interesting. 1 player may draw a card now or destroy an ongoing card. So Ra is going to destroy an ongoing card. I'm not going to worry about the negative energy field. I don't think this is a card that comes into play exactly. So I don't think the negative energy field affects everybody. Yeah, we're just going to get rid of that one. So using the sidekick ability, we're going to destroy this ongoing card. That's what Ra is going to do. Wraith has the opportunity to select an equipment card in her trash and put it into play. Let's see if she has anything that's tempting. They're all 1 shot, so she can't do that. So she will do the same thing. She is going to destroy an ongoing card. So she's going to destroy the Severed Ley Line. And that's it. Now we move on to the environment turn. There's nothing here, nothing was played, so the negative energy field doesn't have anything to do. We draw Ghostly Images. So when this card enters play, each player reveals the top card of their deck. Each player, so not this guy. If it's a 1-shot, put it into play. Well, they're both 1-shots. So it's another Suit Yourself. Not Suit Yourself, it's another Suit Yourself. So she regains a hit point, which puts her at 26 max. But because that card was played, everyone has to have 1 damage done. The top 3. So 48, he gets a damage. 18, he gets a damage. And she doesn't get a damage because she's buffered against the next damage. So she is fine. Moving on with Ghostly Images. If it's a 1-shot, put it into play. It's coming over here. Put up to 3 cards from the environment trash on the bottom of the environment deck. You may draw as many cards as you moved this way.